Video 1, we talked about the excessive open club face. Now let's talk about the excessive closed club face. Now, when I see the more excessive closed club face, what I see really is it starts to take place early in the backswing. You start seeing that club face looking down excessively to the ground. The club face at the top really is looking up toward the sky, and for some, you'll see it even looking kind of behind that way. Okay, now that open face, of course, in video 1 was more there. Now we've got the face looking more up there. And of course, when you start seeing that club face excessively closed, then of course, as we come down to impact, you'll start seeing that club face excessively closed countered with a lot of shaft lean to kind of fight it off a little bit. But that face is so closed, we de-loft it, right? We hit a lot of low left shots for a right-handed player. And even, with the excessive closed face, you'll see a player really stand the handle up and kind of shove the path out to the right to combat that. Or even, aim to the right with the body, okay? So in video 1, that slicer was kind of over here, and then, now with that face more shut, we kind of get going more over there, and everything kind of tends to work out that way. Sometimes we match it up just beautifully, right? Face closed the right amount to the path, and we get that draw, okay? Or low draw, depending upon how closed and how much you're leaning that shaft forward to combat all that. So how do we start getting the face to open up a little bit more? Present a little bit more loft, okay, to the impact zone. This tends, when you have this excessive closed face, you tend to struggle as the clubs get longer in getting the ball in the air, right? Because they don't have a lot of loft. So loft is a key aspect here, I think, in fixing this. The first place you want to look is the grip. When I think of an excessive closed face, I think of a player who can get really strong with either hand. Okay, sometimes you'll see a left hand way over, but I tend to see the right hand kind of get dominant underneath like this. Okay, that right hand gets so far under and or left hand over to the right. Okay, that's a strong grip when you start getting over here to the right. Weaker would be more back to the left. Okay, a weak grip would see the thumb more down the middle of the grip, right hand on top. Neutral would see the left hand kind of move over slightly. In a neutral grip, I can see about maybe 2 knuckles of the left hand. Right hand sits to the side, covers the thumb. And then strong, you'll see like 3 knuckles. And then that right hand starts to sit way under. Generally speaking, the weaker the grip, the more my hands move to the left, the more the face wants to open up. Okay? Now, the stronger the grip, the more I move my hands to the right, then the more the club face wants to close, okay, and kind of keeping the wrist all the same. So the first place I would look is the grip. I want to make sure it's not too strong, in particularly this right hand, okay, and not getting it under. I tell you, that right hand under, there's just nothing good that comes from that. You have a lot of leverage to turn the face down like this, okay, and that face gets so close. So what I would encourage is to kind of work closer to neutral. You have to weaken your grip a little bit. Some of you might have to weaken both, where that left thumb just slightly right of center, and then what feels really bad is the right hand covering up the left thumb. Okay? That's what feels awful. If you're here and you go to here, you'll feel like I'm going to lose distance, and you are going to lose distance, because what you were doing and closing that face so much and de-lofting, you're taking a 7 and turning it into a 6 or a 5. Now, that might be more powerful, but it's not a playable launch. So we've got to improve the probability of impact, get the launch angle to come up a little bit so it can come down softer into green. So it is a little bit, I don't want to rob you of distance, but in theory, that's what's happening, right? So be careful with the grip. Don't get too strong. Okay, let's keep it closer to neutral, which for a lot of you is going to feel weaker. That right hand's key. You got to cover up that left thumb. See how it's covered? Don't get under here. Cover it. Get on top. Now, with the grip. From there, the first checkpoint as we take it back is we've got to get the face to rotate a little bit more open. We've got to feel like the toe is a little bit more up. Now, perfect world, the toe is slightly down, angle of the face matches the spine. But chances are you're really shut here like this. And chances are when you see that, it'll go way inside. Okay? Fingernails on the chalkboard. Inside club head with the face excessively shut. So usually you got to feel like the club head's kind of a little bit up out in front of you with a little forearm rotation. Kind of feel just a little forearm rotation here, left wrist, left forearm. And that gets the face to rotate a little bit more toe up like this. See this? Really good. Okay? Now, from here I can turn, and now that face, with a good grip, okay, can start to hang a little bit more at an angle, say 45, or maybe just looking slightly towards the sky. Okay, we're starting to relieve some pressure off the face. You've got to be careful a little bit with the wrist angles. I think, ideally, if you had a grip that was neutral, you started rotating the face a little bit, and your left wrist was relatively flat at the top, and that face looked much more opened up and square, well, that'd be good. But I want to layer in something here with the wrist angles to consider if you feel like you've made the grip change and you still need a little bit more relief to the face, better here. But as we get up to here, we're cranking on that too much. I'll see players that get, this way. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes I'll get in here and I'll just get them to feel like the thumb sits a little bit more underneath the grip. Now that club's on the left thumb. I can feel that. And my left wrist feels a little more extended, just a slight cup. It's not crazy, but I feel the thumb underneath. And you can see the influence to the face. If I go that way, the face looks behind me. If I go that way, now the face looks down. So I like that. And I want to add that to this fix with the grip, with some rotation, and then that thumb supporting it at the top. Now we got the club face in a better spot. Okay, so now we're in a good position where as we come down, this club face, as it comes down, usually is going to be in a reasonably good position. Fixing excessive closed faces, okay, you've got to really go in that order. Grip, here, and then at the top, layering in that left thumb support, slightly extending the lead wrist. Coming down, as I get down into delivery here, that toe is up. See that toe right there? That toe is not slammed down right there. I feel that more toe up, and then if I can get to that position, and now I can really turn to impact, that club face is going to present a ton more loft, okay? Now, if you're a player who is really excessively dragging that handle through and leaning the shaft forward to combat that shut face, well, it'll take a few reps to let that club face catch back up a little bit, okay, and have a more reasonable shaft lean, conservative shaft lean rather than excessive. Okay, so that'll take a little bit of time for that to start to catch up into impact like this, and then of course and release back around the other side. Okay, so again, for those who kind of really got going that way, you'll start feeling, because of the prep work coming down, this will start to line back up better. It'll start to release past you a little bit more. Rather than leaning on it, get on the head of it, dragging it through it, you can stay behind it and let it release, okay? And as it releases, it'll want to come back around to the left just a little bit more. So we start taking pressure off of that face. We start opening it up a little bit because it was too excessively closed. In that order, okay? Starting with the grip, weak, neutral, strong. Be conservative, get weaker for some, okay? But if you feel like, okay, I got that, all right, then where are you here? All right, no, yes, see the toe a little more up. And then where are you here? No, yes, more relief in the thumb, right? A little more extended, cupped, right? And then we kind of let it fall. And as I get into delivery here, you see that toe again up, not down. And then we get into impact, right? Slight shaft lean. Club face looks like it's got some loft. Now I can stay behind it, let it release as I turn back around to the other side. So I love fixing excessive club faces. Video 1 was about open, video 2 is about closed. When you start educating people around the face and going in order, you start getting the face better prepared. The body will start to respond. Impact dynamics will respond. Give it a little time, give it some reps, and I think this will help you out.